you?
Yeah, doing fine. How about you guys?
Good. We are, just to let you know, we are in Virginia Beach, Virginia, in the United States. It is almost 10 o'clock in the morning here. And we've been using Deck Toys a few times, and we really appreciate you meeting with us. So the kids have a few questions to ask as we go through, and we're looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Okay. Maybe I give a short introduction first.
Yes, wonderful.
Okay. So I'm Bunjin. I'm in Singapore now. So you guys, it's 10 a.m. in the morning, but here it's 10 p.m. at night. So it's the opposite side of the globe. So I managed to contact my users mostly at night here because the teachers like you are using in the morning, but so I'm normally available at night. Right? So I can video call you guys this morning. Yeah. So I'm the creator of Deck Toys. So if you got any questions about the platform or how I create it, or anything about myself or the future of the product, do tell me. Yeah, you can ask me.
Thank you so much. They all have questions. Who has number one? All right, Jordan. All right, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Jordan, and what inspired you to create Deck Toys?
I created Deck Toys because I know lessons can be very boring, and when I was a student myself, teachers normally give me worksheets, and I know it's very hard to be motivated to complete it. And because worksheets are repetitive, and then even the weak or strong students will find it very boring. So I try to make a platform where the teacher can create the lesson in different varieties. So you see a lot of games. So actually it's your lesson material but turned into games. So this is my concept for Deck Toys. So in the end, you are feel like you are playing games, but actually you will be learning and trying to master key concepts given by the teacher.
Thank you. Number two, how did you come up with the name Deck Toys?
Okay, so I was thinking of creating something fun. So okay, maybe I'll go back to the first question about why I created Deck Toys. So what motivated me or what inspired me was the Super Mario game. I'm not sure any of you played Super Mario.
How many of you guys play Super Mario? Raise your hands.
Me.
Okay, so we do.
So when I was I think it came out like 30 years ago. So when I was a small kid, yeah, most of the time I'm playing games. Last time at the time 20 years ago there was no internet, so we would be playing the console and in front of the TV. So I played every day, and so the game is Super Mario 3, the one where there's a map. There's a map, and then there's paths you can choose, and you can collect items. And when there's some levels, there's a boss, very difficult to solve. You need to play many times and use many lives to solve. So this is where I put Deck Toys in the map, and then there's difficult activities, so that when the teacher can add blocks to it. Yeah, this is something like the boss level. Then the student, once you master it, you can go to the next level and reach to the end. So this is the design of Deck Toys. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Who has number three? All right, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Maxie, and I have a question, and it is this your only job? What did you do before that? What did you do before Deck Toys?
Did you hear him?
Yes.
Is Deck Toys the only thing you do right now? And what did you do before Deck Toys?
Yeah, so Deck Toys is my full-time job now. I've been working on the platform for the past 3 years or so. And before that, actually I've been working on software for about 10 years. So my background is I'm electrical electronics engineer, but my interest is actually computers. So I actually abandoned what I studied last time and focused on programming. So I learned programming in my free time when I was a student in university. Then when I graduated, I worked as a software engineer, but I created educational software for classrooms, and that's where I I was doing all this in my free time. Then I managed to sell software online, and somehow I managed to survive for the past 10 years as online business until today. Yeah.
That's good, thank you. Who has the math question and the coding
Oh my
question?
God.
Go ahead and ask the math question.
Did creating deck toys require any math skills? If so, what kind?
Okay, math skills.
Because this is a math
yeah.
class.
Okay, so I understand as a student, a lot of times you will think whatever you study in class will not be relevant in the future. That means you might not be doing, for example, like for me, I'm doing programming, but whatever I learned in the biology class, is it relevant today? Then for me, for sure, my answer is yes, because the more knowledge you have, the more creativity you can have. So for example, you can see now I've got many games, like 15 different games. And each game, I had inspiration for each game. So for example, the certain activities will be, my thinking behind is, oh, there's a body parts. I need to label the body parts so I can add labels on the body parts. So this is an example where when I learned biology last time, but I'm thinking now as when I create this platform, although I'm not interested in biology at all, but because I studied biology, then it helped me to design this platform. Then for math itself, for sure, a lot of math involved in programming, because there will be a lot of algorithms. So for example, how you want to organize your class data, how do you want to store data. And so for me, is big concern for me is the cost to run the service. So a lot of mathematics for me is about counting the cost per teacher for me. So in running business, more on the math part is running business. How do I keep the cost low to make sure I can afford to run this service, run the platform for the students?
So if we have students that want to be, to create video games in the future, they need to take like programming, coding, math, algebra.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever you're learning today, whatever subject, even art class, will be relevant for your future. So it might be not immediate future, but 10 years in the future, you will not know whatever you are doing, but I'm sure whatever you are studying now will be beneficial for you.
Thank you. Who has number 4? Tell them your name.
Hi, my name is Xander, and I have a question. Is it possible for students to create their own deck toy? If not, is it something that may be available in the future?
Okay, so now this is comes to the math problem just now, the previous question asked. So I could have made it such that students create their own deck toys now, but when I do the math, it will be too costly for me. So I cannot run a profitable business if I allow each student, because okay, now each classroom, for example, there's 10 or 20 students. So maybe to be simple, there's 10 students. If 10 students upload materials to my platform, then my cost will be times 10. And then I need to charge teachers times 10 as well at this moment. Unless I manage to keep the cost low for me to run the platform. So at this moment, not yet, but in the near future, I'm always finding ways to reduce the cost. For example, to host the images. One of the biggest costs for me to run the deck toys is the images. So if I think maybe in 6 months' time, I will create a simplified deck builder for students. And then with the simplified deck builder, I'll limit the size of the images to upload, for example. Then cost will be not a big concern for me as much as today. And so maybe as a rough guide, 6 months ahead, I think you can see a student editor available.
Thank you. All right, who's number 5? All right, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Imani. How long did it take you to create deck toys?
Okay, so I say I was working on this for past 3 years, but actually the past 3 years is the full-time part of it. So before the past 3 years, I've been trying to find a product to work on. So every few months I create a new product just to test whether teachers are interested. So I think I registered the domain deck.toys in 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago. Exactly 3 years ago is the date of registration of the domain. So maybe about 6 months before that, I was starting to create the initial building blocks of the platform. So it was nameless yet. Then I think the previous earlier question was what's the name, how to create the name. So the product was nameless for about 6 months. And before I share it to a teacher, I name it Deck Toys. And then why the name is because it is the name deck, DECK is like presentation deck, is like PowerPoint deck. It sounds very boring. So boring lessons turn into toys to fun. So that's where Deck Toys come into play. But it's just a name only. Then but it does get interest from teachers. So when I tell teachers about my product called Deck Toys, they will say, is it a toy? Is it a physical toy? Then can describe it's actually an online platform.
Thank you. Where are we?
Number 6.
Number 6? Who has number 6?
I do.
6. My name is Passion, and I was wondering, are there any plans for adding game-like activities?
Okay, so the activities I have now today are actually, a lot of them is feedback given by teachers, and their students tell the teachers, say I want this kind of activity in the classroom. Then the teacher will feedback to me, and then I will put it into my to-do list, which is many to-do lists. And if one day, sometimes I'm bored or I'm motivated to create a new game, then I'll look through the list and think what is the next game I create. So the games you see are actually very simple games. I code it in like 1 or 2 days. So I got 15 games, so I took about maybe each individual game take about 2 days per game. Yeah. So if you got any suggestion of a game, you can give me the description of the game, and if I really code it out, I will certainly I will attribute it to you.
Thank you. We can't. Can you see us?
Yes,
Oh, there we
I
go.
see.
Okay. You froze there for a minute.
Okay.
Number 7, please.
Was it hard to use coding to create deck toys?
Okay, so that toy itself is very massive because it's a lot of activities going on, a lot of parts to it. So, but the small part of it will be simple to code, but the whole thing is quite complicated. So if you are saying one of the games in that toys is something quick, anybody can create, but the whole platform itself, it takes time. So I cannot give my exact answer if you're a new programmer how difficult is it to code, but I'm sure the games you see, just the game itself, a student can actually spend a few weeks of their free time to code one game. Yeah, it's not difficult.
Thank you so much. Number 8. Majesty.
Oh, you read it.
Oh, that's right. Number 9. I think this is the last question. Ashton, you got to speak a little louder though, so you can hear.
What do we need to do to be able to create something like deck toys?
Okay, what you need to do.
Like, what kind of school? What kind of classes?
Okay, programming is one of the key things because, okay, I think for me the main thing is persistence, because I say I've created this nearly 3.5 years ago, but the truth is when I created it 3.5 years ago, no one was using that toys, and then I was coding and pivoting. I keep changing the design, I keep changing the way I describe the product for many months until there's only one teacher who use it. And then the one teacher only used infrequently, and it took about a year before I get maybe 10 active teachers using it. So it was quite every day when I work on that twice, it's like I was thinking, should I stop doing it? Should I abandon it today? But I keep moving on because I believe it's useful for students. So I think the key thing for me was persistence, that especially the first year, I only got a few users using throughout the year. But after that, it suddenly started to grow, where teachers spread the product, and especially the students like force their teachers to use that toys. Yeah, that's where the product started to grow. And through the teachers' feedback, I was able to motivate myself to continue working on it until today. So the key thing is persistence. So especially your studies, whatever you're studying, also you need persistence. And if subject matter for this will be programming, and maybe programming will be mathematics. So if you're interested in mathematics, normally you will help with your programming.
Persistence means not giving up and keep going after what you want.
Are you
To
sure?
be persistent is what that means. All right, does anybody else have any other questions before we say
I
goodbye?
did.
You do?
Are you rich?
Originally I come from Malaysia. So Malaysia is a third world country. I don't think but I migrated to Singapore, which is a very expensive country. So in Singapore, I'm just middle class. That means if I work as a software engineer outside, I think I'll earn the same amount which I'm earning now. So way far from rich.
Far from
rich.
It's gonna take a while.
You said USD. What school was that?
Again?
What school did you go to?
I've not been to any school.
Okay.
I only leave it online and let teachers discover themselves and use it. Yeah.
Very cool. Outstanding.
Yes, any other questions? Okay, so can we all say thank you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks for having
much.
me.
And
Okay.
I'll see you on Twitter.
Me too.
Okay. On Twitter. Thanks.
Have a good
Yeah,
night.
Right.
Alright,
Bye.
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 Oh, cut it off.